sorry. Yeah. Though it hurts, I only wish you blessings. When intuition talks, you gotta listen. I won't lose myself for anybody. I'm not sorry. Yeah. 'Cause you build me up to break me down. Never respect the love you found. And I had a voice inside the back of my mind. I always knew it deep down. You don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry. Oh, no looking back this time. 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 Running from the truth was getting reckless. In your arms, I never felt protected. Oh. 'Cause you don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry. Oh. No looking back this time.
How are we doing? How are we doing? I know there's not a lot of you in here right now, but that's cool. I just wanted to go live for a little bit, just because of all the breaking news that Luis Diaz has potentially handed in a transfer request. I just wanted to go through a couple of things, and also talk a little bit about Konate as well. Things are going a bit crazy now, and it looks like Liverpool are back into the routine of getting the rest of our business done. I also wanted to kind of break down what's happened over the last couple of weeks and what we're going to expect in the next week or two. And I know there's like loads and loads of people that are live right now. I know Coppish are live. I know there's Never a Foul. There's like loads of people that are live. So I understand that I haven't got many people on this show, but I just want to get this one out there, and I'm still going to do a show later on where I can go into more details on more stuff that's possibly going to happen today. Well, I've just had my lunch, and I'm just going to do a quick 20 minutes or so to get this video out and share a couple of things which I've just discovered today, and obviously last night as well, because I never stop. So first of all, big up everyone that's tuned in. I know it's hot outside, and I know there's loads of other shows on, and I appreciate you being here, all 40 of yous. If you have the likes, please do. getting the likes over 100 on every single video is really important for the algorithm to get out there. And no problem at all for the raid last night. And it was hilarious watching you sweat when you had loads of people in. Mate, whenever you're live, I'll send them over. Like, you know how it is, bud. All right. And if you haven't subscribed to the Irishman's channel, he's there now. So just put another link in there and go and subscribe to his channel. It's a good channel. Lee is absolute mayhem and world class. Like, he just talks about so much random stuff, which is just hilarious. Always cracks me up. But let's get into it quickly now, okay? I don't want to waffle on. All right, so nearly 50 of you in here. Brilliant. Really appreciate it. Okay, so a couple of things to cover off. First of all, we all know that Luis Diaz has been twerking for a number of clubs for a number of months, okay? We all know that, all right? We also know that 2 years ago, his dad specifically talked about Barcelona being his dream move, okay? So we all know that Luis Diaz sees Liverpool as a stepping stone to another club. That's how I see it. That's how his dad sees it. It's not the same with other players, not the same with Vert, it's not the same with Frimpong, not the same with Kirkes, because their dads see Liverpool as a club that you want to get to. Luis Diaz sees Liverpool as a stepping stone to go to another club, okay? So let's just be real here, yeah? This is how he sees it. Like, whether we like it or not, that's just how it is, okay? The interesting thing is this seems to be a common thread with South Americans. It just does. Like, make that move to Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona's, those type of clubs seems to be the pinnacle of where they want to go, okay? Barcelona was obviously Luis Diaz's final destination in his eyes. If he makes it, he can get there, okay? That's fine. Absolutely fine, okay? Got no problems with it at all. You just go then, yeah? Now, the big issue is we haven't had enough money off Barcelona for him to get there, and rightly so, yeah? Rightly so. Barcelona are skint. Barcelona maybe had 50 million to spend on Nico Williams. They've still got that money because Nico Williams has said no. And they are looking at Luis Diaz, and that is true. And Luis Diaz representatives, whether it's his dad, whether it's whoever, yeah, have gone back and forth consistently with Barcelona trying to get that deal done. Okay. Where are we with Luis Diaz at the club? He has 2 years left on his contract. I don't care how much money he's on. That's not my problem. It's not our problem. We need to stop talking about this wage thing, okay? He signed the contract when he came to the club. So what? That's not our problem. If he signed a contract for 20 quid, I don't care. I really don't care. It's not our problem. Like, he signed the contract, okay? Whether he's on 40 grand, 50 grand, 150 grand is irrelevant to me, okay? The fact is, he is a Liverpool player and he's going around having his representatives speak to other clubs while he is still under contract at Liverpool for 2 years. We seem to keep on forgetting he is still under contract at Liverpool for 2 years, yeah? If you went and did that while you were working at another company and your company found out that you were going around asking about job roles in a competitive company, more than likely you would be let go. More than likely, your manager would not look at you in the same eyes and go, hang on a minute, he's a guy I can rely on. Is he a guy I can rely on? Because he's going around looking for another job. And that is what Luis Diaz's representatives are currently doing. They are looking for another job for him because at Liverpool, he is an employee who works for the club. Like, footballers are employees that work for the club, and he works damn hard, and pure respect for that. He runs his ass off and he works hard, yeah? But unfortunately, it looks like he's only working hard to get a move to another club like Barcelona. Okay? Bayern Munich have been rejected on many occasions this season now for big players that they want. They are desperate. Okay? They are coming for Luis Diaz. Bayern Munich are a massive club. Let's not get this wrong. Bayern Munich are a behemoth of a top 5 global brand. They are. Whether we think they're this or that is irrelevant. Bayern Munich are massive. Top 5 in the world. Shirt sales, sponsorship, players that they sign, wages that they do, they are huge. Okay? Bayern Munich want Luis Diaz. Bayern Munich clearly have money to buy Luis Diaz because they tried to buy Florian Wirtz, and they would have had to have gone to 100 million to get Florian Wirtz. Okay? The rumours that Luis Diaz has handed in a transfer request are not far wide of the mark because there's other people that have talked about it. Pep Sierra has talked about this. He is a very reputable media source, because he's the one that we all found out that we were signing Luis Diaz when nobody actually knew that Luis Diaz was anywhere close to Liverpool. It was Pep Sierra that came up and said, oh yeah, he's signing. And then a couple of days later, he was at Liverpool and everyone's like, whoa, where did this guy come from? Believe him. Believe him. Unfortunately, I do not want Luis Diaz at the club anymore because whether he works hard or not is beside the point. The guy wants to leave. If the guy's got his representatives speaking to Barcelona and speaking to Bayern Munich, then he wants to leave the club. You are showing intent that you want to go elsewhere. You can go elsewhere. Now it's all about the money. It's all about the money. I think we need to just understand now that Luis Diaz is not going to be a Liverpool player at the start of the season. He's not. He's not. Because Liverpool have clearly said, you are not getting a new contract. Well, if you're not getting a new contract, then we don't see you as a permanent fixture for the next 3 to 5 years because your contract runs out in 2 years and you're not leaving on a free transfer. So what do we do with Luis Diaz? We sell him. We sell him. And what do we have as a replacement for Luis Diaz? We have Cody. Cody's there. Cody's done better numbers. Cody's got more assists. He's got more goals. He's a better player for me. He's got more to give. And guess what? Liverpool's his final destination. Liverpool was Cody's final destination. Cody wants a new contract. But Cody wants a new contract because he wants to stay at the club and make a legacy of himself at Liverpool. And guess what? I'm all for it. I'm all for it. We need more players like that. We need more players like that. And guess what we've been doing? We've been signing more players like that, as in Wirtz, Frimpong, Kerkez. Do you think Liverpool's a final destination for Gahey? Oh, shit, it is. Oh, yeah, it is. Do you think Liverpool's a final destination for those other players that we're linked with? Oh, it is. Do you think it's final destination for Isaac? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So we need to move on from this because Diaz has been okay. He's had one good season. It's been a bit flaky in that season. Like you went like 3 months without scoring a goal, which is pretty dreadful if I'm honest. But we can move on from that because he had a good finish to the season. Did Diaz have a good finish to the season because he was playing for the shop window? Did he? We will never know. But Diaz will not be a Liverpool player at the end of the season, at the end of this window. I don't think so at all. I'm about 90% sure now. And I think he will hand in a transfer request. And I think he might actually go down the Coutinho route and really annoy the fans with the play acting and the representatives doing whatever they're doing. And this is what Sean's just touched on. Sean's just touched on it. I talked about this before, and so is Michael Edwards, and so is Richard Hughes. Liverpool will look at an opportunistic player. They will look at opportunistic signings. We talked about this all season. Florian Wirtz was an opportunistic signing. And I know he cost 100 million quid, but it was an opportunity that could not be passed because he wasn't sure about Manchester City, Real Madrid, or Bayern Munich. And Liverpool's seen an opportunity that we would never in a million years go for that opportunity completely out of the blue. But it came, it was there. It was like, whoa, Florian Wirtz, that's an interesting one. What, he's umming and ahhing about 3 other clubs? Okay, let's ask the question. That's opportunistic signing. Cost 100 million quid, but it doesn't matter. There was an opportunity and we took it. For me, I think Rodrigo's the next one. I think Rodrigo is the next opportunity that we go for. And I feel this one would never come along. It would never come along. And it wouldn't come along for the price of 70 million quid. It just would not. This is a 130 million pound opportunity in previous years. In previous years, this is an opportunity which cost you way over 100 million. Like, there was rumours that they might sell him for 130 last year. Rodrigo is an opportunity which Liverpool will take. They will take it, but one person has to move, and it's Luis Diaz. It's Luis Diaz. This opportunity cannot be passed. It cannot be passed by Liverpool. And I know that they're sat there and they've gone, right, we didn't think that Luis Diaz would push this far, but he has. And Rodrigo is there. He's disgruntled. He's not played any football. Like Real Madrid are playing a 19-year-old kid over him. Like, let's be fair. They're playing a 19-year-old and a 21-year-old from the second team ahead of Rodrigo. Like, you need to ask the question, Rodrigo, why are you at Real Madrid next season? Like, are you going to get opportunities? Are you going to get opportunities? I thought that was a wasp, sorry. Are you going to get opportunities? So this is where Liverpool come in and go, right, Rodrigo, do you think we're doing business? Do you think we are going for another league title? Do you think we are going to go for another Champions League? Would you like to be part of it? You will replace Luis Diaz. And Luis Diaz, all intents and purposes, was our first choice left winger last season. And I know Cody played games, but Luis Diaz was our first choice. Like, he would have played all season as left wing if we didn't have such a poor number 9 outlay from Nunez and, God rest his soul, Jota. So this is an opportunistic signing that Liverpool will take. And you also have to look at the situation with left wingers. Like, who's out there? Who's out there? You tell me who's out there who's any good. Like, tell me who's out there that's good enough to move the needle for Liverpool. We didn't go for Kudus. Kudus went for 55 million. We wanted Kudus a couple of years ago. 55 million was a good deal for me. I think that's a good deal for Kudus. We didn't go for it. We haven't even looked at Nico Williams. We didn't put our hat in the ring. We didn't look at him. Malik Fofana, as the club has agreed terms on the deal with Nottingham Forest. We know how much he costs because Nottingham Forest have already agreed a deal. We haven't budged on him. Barcola's not available. Maybe we want Barcola. I don't know. Yildiz is too young and he's done nothing. People need to stop talking about this player because he's done absolute zero. Like, he's done nothing. Like, I'd rather go and get Denzel Dumfries, who's like worth 15 million, than Yildiz. We need to move on from projects, okay? Because we're signing a left winger to replace Luis Diaz, who was our first choice winger. And there's no projects at Liverpool right now. Anthony Gordon's one that's popped up. Anthony Gordon, maybe he can also play a number of positions. And this is also the other point that I wanted to make is this left winger, whether it's Rodrigo, but I think it's Rodrigo, has to be able to play in multiple positions. This has been made really clear by Liverpool. Lewis Steele's covered it. Fabrizio Romano's covered it. David Ornstein's covered it. Liverpool are looking for a player who can play in the wide positions and in multiple positions. Not the number 9. The number 9, we already know who Liverpool want. They want either Alexander Isak or Hugo Ekitike. That's the list. Osherman's gone. Alvarez isn't moving. And Brian Mbeumo's gone. So you've got 2 choices. And one of those choices, funny enough, is heavily linked to Newcastle. I wonder why. Okay, so let's break it down. Rodrigo can play right. We know he can play right because he's played right all his career at Real Madrid, which isn't his natural position. A bit like Sadio Mane, by the way. And you don't think we've looked at him as a potential Sadio Mane replacement in a system that might work for Sadio Mane, because Diaz and Cody have not done what Sadio Mane did when he came to Liverpool. They don't play the same way. And this is the point that Duffers has mentioned, big up Duffers, is Rodrigo can play the 9 and he plays left and he plays right and he can also play false 9 and main 9. He can play the 9. He's played 9 for Brazil. That's wrong, AA. He can play the number 9. He's a very versatile footballer that can be incorporated into many systems. And in case you didn't know, he's only 24. I think this is a deal which moves the needle. I think this is the opportunistic signing that Liverpool look at and go, we can't let this one go. Like, this is one that needs to happen. Like, we can't let this player go to our rivals in Arsenal. We can't. We can't let this player go to Manchester City. We can't. We can't let this player go to a Bayern Munich. We can't. This is the one that we need to get. And this is what we will be working on. And this is where the relationship comes in with Xabi Alonso. Because you don't think Xabi Alonso had spoken to Wirtz and Frimpong. You don't think he'd spoken to them and said, look, I'm going to Real Madrid. Like, I think you'd be really good with my club. And they've gone, look, we've got our heart sets on Liverpool. And he would have gone, oh, you got my blessing. You don't think? You don't think we've got a good relationship with Xabi Alonso? You don't think we could do a deal with Real Madrid for Rodrigo? And this is the other question we need to ask. And this ties in with the second part. Konate. Does Konate have any bearing on this Rodrigo deal? Because Real Madrid look like they have a combination of Harry Maguire and I don't know, who was that really bad centre-back for Manchester United who used to pull funny faces on the floor? What was his name? Phil? What was his name? Phil? I can't remember his name. And this is the point. This is the point. Real Madrid desperately need another centre-back. I'm sorry. Like, look, you may well have got Dean Huijsen, but Dean Huijsen is not going to be the guy that saves your season when you have Phil Jones. That's it, Mint. Phil Jones or Johnny Evans was all right, by the way. Like, let's not poo-poo Johnny Evans thought Johnny Evans was a great player, by the way. He's a great player, Phil Jones. Phil Jones trying to tackle the ball with his head while he's on the floor. And this is where I wanted to go. Look, they want Konate. Konate wants Real Madrid. And this is where we go all the way back to the start when we talk about stepping stones. Liverpool is not a destination for Konate either. Liverpool was a stepping stone. It was a route on the way to his dream club, possibly PSG, and now it looks like Real Madrid. Look, Konate's going to Real Madrid next season, whether we like it or not. Whether he goes on a free transfer, like whether we get 10 million quid for him like we did for Trent, I do not know. But if we want Rodrigo, this is an opportunistic, to get a deal done for Konate, for Rodrigo, and maybe some money. But they are desperate for a centre-back that's going to be a leader, because, I'm sorry, Rudiger looks like he needs to start learning Arabic. And Rudiger's 32 or 33 now. Like, he can't hold that defence together on his own. He can't. And the other guy they've got, who's potentially could have gone behind bars, looks like a mess. And Dean Huijsen is just too young. He's too young to just throw to the Lions and go, right, you're my guy. You're my centre-back now. You lead. You're 20 years old, mate. And you have to be honest. If anybody's going to work with Trent next to him, it's Konate. Like, it is Konate. There's nobody else. There's nobody else in the world that can do a better job as they centre-back next to Trent than Konate. There's a deal to be done. This is where Richard Hughes kicks into play now. The cogs are going. We know Konate's going. Do we want to keep him and not get a penny? Or do we want to get Rodrigo out of Real Madrid to replace Diaz? And replace Konate with Guehi, who I believe is already signed, by the way, but I can't confirm it. I don't see any other options. I see everything bright right in front of me. It's there. It's like a light bulb now. Liverpool's transfer business is right in front of us. We can see it there. It's there. Like, we've been told so many times by all the media, they wanted 7. They wanted 7 players. They've got 5. The other 2 just need to leave. Nunez, Diaz. And your replacements are Isaac and Rodrigo. We didn't know that Konate would be in the mix. But if you throw Konate in as well, then you have Guehi, and then you go for one more as a backup 4th choice. Because Gomez stays. You have that one more, who could be anyone. It could be a young centre-back. I know. There's so much about Rodrigo that just... He's sponsored by Adidas. Liverpool sponsors are Adidas. It's all there, isn't it? It's written in the stars. Like, I should have done a show just on it. Liverpool are just correcting the wrongs that they got wrong in the past. We didn't get Wirtz. We didn't get Isaac. We didn't get Rodrigo. We didn't get Frimpong. There are all players that Liverpool tried to sign before and never got them over the line. We just have the right people there now. We have the right management to make those deals happen now. That's how I see it. That's as simple as I see it. You have a manager who trusts his backroom staff. You have a manager that will listen to his scouts. You have a manager who has the same ideology and the same work ethos as the backroom staff, and they work in tandem. You've heard Arnie Slot say, "Stop asking me about transfers. I speak to Richard Hughes every day." Richard Hughes has just said to him a couple of days ago, Diaz wants to go, Rodrigo's available. What do you say, Arnie? Okay, that's a yes then. Konate wants to go, Gahey's available. What do we do? Gahey, okay. It's as simple as that. And we know how much Arnie wanted Isaac. We know how much. And we also know that Liverpool tried to sign him twice. So tried to sign Isaac from AIK and had a private meeting with him before he went to Dortmund. This was when he was 18 years old. So we've been down this road. We know where we need to go, and we know the right player that fits Liverpool, because they fitted Liverpool when they were kids. We looked at the way they were. We looked at their attitude. We looked at their determination. We looked at their trajectory, and we could see these guys were going to be world beaters. Isaac, Wirtz, Rodrigo, Frimpong. Guess what they've done? They've lived up to their expectations, and they're at an age where they can kick on even more and win more trophies with Liverpool. And this is the business that we've been crying for years. For years, we've been crying for this business to happen. And I'm not going to throw people under the bus, and I'm not going to name names, okay? But we all seem to know what's been going on now. But Rodrigo and Isaac are next. And I think Gahey's done, by the way. Like that, I'm pretty sure Gahey's done. That will be announced, I think, because it's gone completely quiet. And guess what? It was said that there was only one destination for Gahey. There's only one destination. Gahey only wants Liverpool. That was from Fabrizio Romano. So we just wait for a here we go, and we just wait for the Axeline. And big up 122 of you in here. I haven't got much else to cover, but I just think it all fits into place now. Our transfer window is almost complete. We just need to get the two big ones done. And that's Alexander Isak and Rodrigo. And we also have to look at the fact that, like, how are those signings going to be done? Like, and you look at the money, like, there's 120 million possibly coming from, hang on, my screen's just, this is a bit, this app can be a bit of a nightmare, you know. 2 seconds, I'm just going to close my video and then come back. Okay. Right. No, gone again. Right. Okay, so okay, we're back. This seems to kick me out a bit, and I end up being like laggy, and it's nothing to do with my internet connection. It's just to do with Restream for some reason. So, how do we afford these players? That's the question. Now, we look at the likes of Luis Diaz, 70 million. We look at the likes of Nunez, 50 million. So you've got 130 million potentially coming in from those two players. That money for me, that That gets you Isaac. That gets you Isaac with potentially add-ons. So that's 130 million, which could get Isaac over the line. Okay. So that's that done. That's that one done. Okay. And I know we've spent 200 million already, but that's irrelevant. That's just irrelevant right now. So we spent 200 million, but we've also got money in for other players, which we can kind of calculate if we want. But I'm talking about the rest of the money. So 130, Diaz, Nunez, put that towards Isaac. Okay. Next, Rodrigo. Rodrigo's potentially 70 million. Well, that's Konate. That really is Konate. Like, if you don't think Konate's worth 70 million, then you're out of your mind, because Konate's worth 70 million. And looking at Real Madrid, they desperately need a centre-back. They desperately need another centre-back. So you throw Konate for potentially 40 million or 50 million, and then you give them another 30 million. And that 30 million could come from the sale of Elliott. It could come from, it could come from the sale of a Morton, a Doak, a Kumas. We know they're all going. We know they're all going. We know they're all going. Sorry, 120, not 130. Sorry, my maths was whack there. Sorry, my maths was well out. And that's it. You've said it there, Fireburn. They're the missing pieces of the puzzle. We're still missing 3 players from the 7 that were mentioned by the media a long time ago. A long time ago, they talked about 7 players. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7. Rodrigo, Isaac, Guehi. I think it's Guehi, Rodrigo, Isaac. I think Isaac goes right to the end. And that is a really good point that someone's just put in the chat. This is the new PSR cycle, which we have not touched. We have not spent any money in the new PSR cycle yet. And you also have Adidas sponsorship. This is where your money comes from. But you've also got the fact that we got 35 million for Quansah. The 35 million pays for Guehi. You're just looking at Isaac and Rodrigo now. And we still have plenty of players that are wanted. And this is the difference. This is the difference between an Arsenal, a Man City, and any other top club. Yeah. We have players that are valuable and wanted. Chelsea are doing a good job. Like, I'm not going to knock Chelsea. Like, they are doing a fantastic job with selling players. They always have been good at it. Arsenal's most expensive sell that's ever left Arsenal was in 2017. And that was 40 million that they got for Oxlade-Chamberlain. Did you know that? Did you actually know that in the chat? Because Arsenal don't make money off sales. They never have, and they never will. And you have to look at who are Arsenal going to sell to make money, to pay for your Rodrigos, for your Gokares, for your Ezes, for your Maduekes. Who are they selling? Who's buying? Trossard? How much are you going to get for Trossard? Martinelli's already turned down Saudi and nobody else wants him. So he's not going. Who are you going to sell? Partey went on a free transfer straight to jail. Who else are you selling? Zinchenko? How much are you going to get for Zinchenko? How much? 10 million? 15 million? Arsenal don't make money off sales. Like, they just don't. Like, a lot of Arsenal players, they leave Arsenal on free transfers or their contracts are released. That's how they work. Like, how much are they going to get for Jesus? He's on 300 grand a week. 300 grand a week. Are they going to get any money for Jesus? Arsenal don't make money. So who are they buying all of these players with? And where are they going to play all these players? Like, is Eze going to come to play backup to Rodrigo? And is Rodrigo going to battle it out with Martinelli and Trossard and also the likes of Madueke? Like all these players are going to go to the club and just sit on the bench, fight it out in the wing position. Nobody's going to play where Saka plays unless Saka gets injured. Make it make sense, because it doesn't make sense to me. So they can be linked with whoever they want to be linked with. Gyökeres looks like that's a deal that's off. I think Gyökeres ends up at Manchester United. Like I said all along, by the way, you can clip that one up, because I said a long time ago that Gyökeres would end up at Manchester United. And I said Gyökeres will be a mercenary and he will just go for the money. I said that a long time ago. He's not a guy that's coming to win you a championship. He's a guy that's coming to take coin and be in the Premier League. He is. I think he ends up at Manchester United. Newcastle aren't even linked with Gyökeres. Don't you find that one weird? Don't you find that a really weird one? That Newcastle wanted João Pedro, they wanted Bryan Mbeumo, and now they're interested in Ekitike. But they never went near Gyökeres. Don't you find that a weird one? Isn't he a perfect replacement for Isak? Isn't he a perfect replacement for Isak? Newcastle aren't interested in Gyökeres, and he's there, and he wants Champions League football, and you know how much you've got to pay? Not touching him. Don't you find that one strange? I find that one a bit strange. And that kind of tells you a lot about Gyökeres. Newcastle don't want him. Tottenham don't want him. Arsenal can't get a deal done. Liverpool don't want him. There's a lot of teams that don't want him. Gyökeres is giving up 2 million wages to facilitate the Arsenal move. Yeah, and Arsenal won't even budge. They know how much they have to pay. They have to pay 70 million euros. They won't pay it. They won't pay it. So he went all the way over to Portugal to sign him and came back with duty free. Anyway, we know the three that we want, and it's looking clear. It's looking like these will all be done soon. There's a couple of pieces that need to move. Diaz needs to move and Nunes needs to move. I'm going to share a couple of things quickly. In fact, no, I'm going to do a show later where I'll share some of this information later. Okay. I've got loads of web pages and screenshots that I can share later, but big up 155 of you in here. I also want to let you know that if you're members, I'm going to do a show on Sunday at 9 o'clock, and I don't care if the football's on. Football's on, the football's on. I'm going to do a 2-hour show, 9 o'clock on Sunday, and we're going to do another rabbit hole part 2. Okay, I've got over 200 members now, so I'm sticking to my promise. I said I'd do a show for you after 200 members. I have over 200 now, so I will get that done, and I'll put up a screenshot, and you can also join in. And if you want to become a member, it's £1. I'm not changing it. I know people have said you should put the price up. I'm not going to put the price up. Maybe when I get to 500 members, I might put the price up, but I'm leaving it how it is. It's £1. I really hope you stay on board, because a lot of the membership is because of other people gifting. So I hope you carry on staying a member and you don't leave, because I've got plenty more for you in the future. And if I get over 500 members, then I might do weekly member shows. Okay. I promise you that. If I get over 500 members, you will get a weekly member show from me. Okay. Because it's only £1. It's only £1. If a membership was more, then I'd do more. But I'll give you a weekly show just for the members. We can do like a Q&A, we can do conspiracies, we can do whatever. All right. We can do deep dives into players and scouting and all that stuff. Like, I'm into all of that. I'm the data guy, I'm the stat guy, I'm the geek guy. So we can do all of that. But yeah, we can do call-ins as well. Absolutely. I did have a call-in actually for the member show. I posted the link up. Yeah, if I got like a, I think it was a £5 super chat, then you could join. That's kind of how I worked it. Otherwise, it's a case of loads of people just calling, and 2 hours would have just gone like that, and we might not have covered anything. So we can do that as well. I'm listening to you. All right, I'm listening to you. Anyway, you all have a good rest of your afternoon. I'm going to divert you now to another channel that's live, because there's over 150 of you in here. So just bear with me, okay? Let me find you a live channel. And I'm just going to divert you 2 seconds. But I hope it all makes sense. I hope it all makes sense now, because it does for me. Yeah. So just bear with me, okay? It does for me. Who have we got? Who is live? Let's have a look. Who's live? Is Dom live? Is Dom live? Who's live? Dom Hussein. Okay, I'm going to send you over to Dom's show, which is at 4 o'clock. Just keep it in there, all right? That's at 4 o'clock. So just put in Kmack raid, the usual shit. So if you just stay on this screen, it will take you to Dom's show at 4 o'clock, and I will be live again later at 9 o'clock as usual, and we will cover more and more information that I've found already, which I haven't shared now, but it all makes sense. 3 more to go, okay? 3 more to go, and then we 21 for 20. Hashtag it everywhere. 21 for 20. All right. I will catch you all later.